shall we do some more unpopular opinions?
Yes, please.
Right, I'm going to read out some cycling hot takes. You'll debate them and tell me if you agree or disagree. So the first one is from Alex, who says, my unpopular opinion is that gravel is just roadies realising that MTB is a lot of fun, but can't be seen lowering themselves to the level of an MTBer.
Oh, burn.
So they reinvent cross-country mountain bikes from the late 80s, early 90s. Just look at the bikes from back then. Rigid frame with 1.75 to 2.1 inch tyres. Did I say that right?
Yep.
And drop bars. Aggressive gravel bikes are basically a hardtail MTB with the fun taken out of them. Just get a hardtail and put drop bars on them if you have such a passion against flat bars. Yes, I know you'll have to change the levers, but hey, you'll be supporting your local bike shop.
I agree with some of what he's saying and disagree with other bit. The bit I agree with is mountain bikes are very, very fun. The bit I disagree with is that a mountain bike with drop bars is not the same as what I consider to be a gravel bike, which is essentially a road bike with massive tyres.
Yeah.
Because if the position on a mountain bike is so upright that it doesn't feel fast.
But what about a late 80s, early 90s mountain bike?
But people keep using this argument over and over and over and again, and it just shows a complete lack of understanding. A mountain bike angles a lot more slack. You sit upright like this. And a road bike, you sit forward, all the way forward and things. And yes, upright, backwards is better for descending down technical stuff. But forward and it changes the way you can pedal a bike, change your aerodynamics and how you cut through the air, how you use different muscles. So yes, I agree. Gravel is more roadies because you're sitting in a road bike position versus a mountain bike position. But on that other topic is, I don't think there's anything wrong with 90s mountain bikes. They were more fun. Mountain bikes have become so easy to ride. Rob and I bought a couple of really good Stantons a few years back and went to the trails and we were so much faster because we had all this extra suspension and everything just worked really well.
Incredible bikes.
It is incredible. I mean, I love a good mountain bike, but it gets to a point where it doesn't scare you anymore as much for me. And that's why I like my drop bar mountain bike, as people would call it, with my big wheels and things, but still in the road bike position because it just essentially, you go mountain biking with it, it's...
Yeah, I feel like this argument keeps coming up for us, whether it's overrated, underrated, or in popular opinions, in one guise or another, about whether gravel bikes are just MTB under a different name.
I think it depends a lot as well, like the riding that you're going to be doing. Like, for example, if you go on a Vieri gravel ride, you absolutely could turn up on a mountain bike and have a great time. If you went on one of my gravel rides and you turned up on a mountain bike, unless you were absolutely pinging with fitness, you'd be like, wow, I've made a bad decision here. Because my gravel rides are essentially road rides, but with the odd bit of slippiness.
You can ride my gravel bike on your ride as well. I've done this. So
yeah.
The simple thing is this. For 3 months while waiting for one of my gravel bikes, I rode a hardtail 29er mountain bike on all of our gravel rides. And the thing that I noticed is when I hit the Derwent Walk or the more flat, smoother gravel sections, I was struggling to keep up with all the racing snakes on their little aero positions because I was just upright. The other thing as well for local gravel in the Northeast, with all these gates they've put up everywhere, getting through it with a mountain bike is a bit of a nightmare where I can just zip through with my drop bars.
That, to be fair, for up here, that is a really good point. So Nick's referring to those like kissing gates where it's almost like an A, where if you have bars which are under like 44-ish, you can literally just ride through them if you're careful. Whereas for a mountain bike, you have to get off, turn your bars sideways and squidge them through.
And like everybody's going to have taste in things they like. All I want from people is, until you've tried everything, reserve judgment maybe. I mean, like try the different things. Currently, I have a Stanton FS 29er with 160mm travel. I've got a Stanton Sherpa 29-inch hardtail mountain bike. And then I've got my gravel bike. I've got a more aero-style gravel bike as well now. Road bike. It's all different bikes. They've got different things. They're going to be good in different areas. You can enjoy them for different stuff. But yeah, it doesn't...
Well, or...
This kind of feeds into our next point.
Or you can use any of them for any of those rides.
You can, but it's just...
but you'll have a different output.
Yeah. Exactly.
Listen, why can't we all just get along? The roadies and the MTBers and even the triathletes were let in.
Everyone knows that we all meant to just be arguing with with
cars.
drivers, with cars that are
Stop
anti-cyclists.
distracting from the issue, Alex.
I'll give you a question, Alex.
Okay, Chris from Norway says, This kind of feeds into the last point. Gravel bikes aren't stupid. Just like the term mountain bike, it's the name that's stupid. You've got your commuter model, your slightly off-road model, your adventure/camping model, and your go really fast model. Different standards and configurations for different purposes, just like mountain bikes. And like mountain bikes, the industry needs to agree on what to call them in order to differentiate and market them better to customers.
I agree with this massively. And I've had this huge issue with gravel for so long, but only as a term. Like we talk about bikes. Me and Nick talk about bikes quite differently in that if we talk about going for a road ride, we're basically just talking about a bike that has a particular tire on it that has a particular type of gearing that allows me to ride on roads and be able to keep up and someone not be holding back. When I'm thinking about gravel, what I'm actually talking about is a bike that feels like a road bike but has big tires on it, maybe one by. And when I'm thinking about Vieri gravel, what I'm actually thinking about is a bike that is definitely one by, has mountain bike tires on it, and probably 650B. So they all have names officially from how the bike industry categorizes them, but essentially it's little clearance, some clearance, bucket loads of clearance.
But it goes a lot further than that. I think everybody misses the point. So you've got different styles of cycling, and there's loads, but let's just go on the main ones. You've got road cycling, you've got mountain bike style cycling, you've got BMX style cycling. In all three of those categories, you'll have aero road bikes, you'll have climbing road bikes, you'll have, back in the day, you used to call them enduro road bikes. That's just been killed off by gravel bikes. In mountain bikes, you've got downhill bikes, you've got enduro bikes, you've got trail bikes, and you've got cross-country bikes. A cross-country bike versus a downhill bike is a vastly different thing. They don't do the same thing. They're completely different. And then even in BMX, you get flatland bikes, and you've got vert bikes, and you've got BMX racing bikes, and they've got all these different ones, even though we would just call it a BMX. I think people are missing the point that gravel is a style of something, a bike. They haven't worked out the term. It's been rushed. It's new. It's just happened. When mountain bikes started in the 80s, you just had a mountain bike. And then they started developing 4-cross and all these other kind of things. That's going to happen. Eventually, you're going to have stuff where I think my gravel bike, the Vieri gravel, as you call it, falls into if you took mountain bikers in the category, enduro. And then something like a Ridley Kanzo Fast is, in terms of road bikes, the aero bike.
But that's kind of what Chris from Norway is saying. Gravel bikes aren't stupid. They're just, it's an umbrella term, and there needs to be
subcategories.
But exactly.
or just call it styles. Road style bike, a mountain bike style bike, a BMX style.
I quite like his suggestions. So his suggestions are commuter model, which is essentially a work hog of a bike. Slightly off-road model, which is my what I call a gravel bike, which basically means big tires. Adventure camping model, so that's presumably what he's thinking there is, loads of mountain points, probably sturdy as hell, maybe mountain bike gearing, but...
Well, that'll be a touring bike.
Yeah, a touring bike. And then your go really fast model, which might be aero, might not be aero, but is road tires and just has that fastness to it.
And then highly, highly controversial is just call the entire category hybrid. Because technically a gravel bike's a hybrid. You can ride it on the road, you can ride it off-road.
That might get more complex.
I know, marketing people would never be able to figure this out. But technically, if you wanted to buy a hybrid, the purest form of a hybrid is a gravel bike. Because you can put road tires on it and go race crits if you wanted to. But you can also put mountain bike tires on.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I don't know if it was if it was a UK thing or if it was a world thing, but hybrid bikes in the noughties in the United Kingdom was road bike with flat bar.
Yeah, a mountain bike is. Yeah. It's a hybrid. It's what it is. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes the term because a hybrid is the
look down upon,
the stepchild of But it's the problem with hybrids were that hybrids never did anything well. Didn't go on the road well and didn't go off road well. And I know mountain bikers will say gravel bikes don't go off road well, but they do. It's a bit more fun. Yeah.
I'll say it again. Let's all just get along. Last one is from Lil Thunder Main. They say, unpopular opinion, cyclocross should not exist. Put on a clown costume, go to the circus and hop over obstacles with your bicycle on your shoulder, accompanied by cats, dogs, and elephants there.
Disagree. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Or don't do it.
Or don't do it, yeah.
Controversially disagree as well. I think most countries in the world, bar 2, well, possibly 3, I could probably count America into this. All the other countries are just not doing it well. If you look at Dutch or Belgian cyclocross, the crowds, the money it generates is unreal. I mean, the crowd's like 40 people deep, and it's just a big party. I can't. If you said to me you could only go and watch one type of cycling, I'd probably pick cyclocross in Belgium and the Netherlands over downhill mountain biking.
I think Lil Thunder Main is saying they don't like fun. That's all I'm reading from that.
Do you have an unpopular cycling opinion? Well, we want to hear it. Send yours to wildonespodcast@cademedia.co.uk and we might feature it on a future episode.